How's it going, Blasters? We're going to bring you specifications you can relate to so you can have an educated decision on your purchases. This is going to be one from Finch Knife Co. This is called the Runtly. So that's going to be how it sits in your pocket. Titanium pocket clip for it. And it's pretty decent as far as the retention on it as well. So that's going to come in about 1 pound, about 7.5 ounces to take it out of your pocket. So it does stay in there pretty well, and you can even hear it when it comes out as far as a little sound when it bypasses that pocket material. So that's going to be that knife there. They're having a few other models coming out, so keep an eye on their Instagram. You can already see pictures of them. So they're going to be the Tacuna and also the 1929. So also thank you very much to Finch Knife Co. for providing this knife to the Apex Pass Around group. So do appreciate that very much. So we're going to look at it as far as even the hand sizing, so you can kind of see where that's going to be for you. You can print this out in the description down below as well, and then that can be where you can match it up to yourself to see how that's going to fit in your hand for your hand size. That's going to be also for the weight side of things. As you looked at the previous video, there's a new thing that I did for weight. So this is going to be a 3.2 ounces. So that equals to, anybody guess? 16 quarters. So if you want to kind of go along with this process with me, and then if you want to be kind of more involved into the review itself, pick yourself up some quarters, grab a penny or two, and then you can kind of get this in hand as far as how heavy the knife that I'm reviewing is, and kind of get it as close as possible to you actually holding the knife, and then getting that idea as far as if you want to pick it up. This one goes for $139 price point. It is made by Best Tech, so that's going to be, if you have any Best Techs before, there's going to be something that is the same build quality as Best Tech. So the lineman pull gauge, I normally like about 2 to 3 pounds for a flipper. This one came out about a little bit higher at 3 pounds, 1.4 ounces, and then it does have a few different deployment methods, which is good. So it has a light switch. It does have a thumb deployment, so you can use those nail nicks. It does have a middle finger, if I can actually get it. Oh, maybe not. Yep, so there you go. So play with that a little bit. It works out pretty well. I can do it better off camera. But it also has pinch and roll, so you can pinch it, roll it open. Also does have a traditional style of doing it as well. So that's one thing that's kind of nice about it. It kind of harkens back to a different design. So the traditional style has a nail nick. This one has on both sides. So it adds to the aesthetics of it, but also has something that you can actually use in a deployment method. And I do kind of like kind of an optical illusion for the blade to the flipper tab. It kind of looks like the blade itself would be kind of in this rectangle shape, and then it's a little bit different when you open it. But when it's closed, I do like how that looks for that. So the total for the blade length, this one goes for about 2.4 inches. So that's basically until this lump here, all the way up to the tip. And then 2.6 from this area of the blade all the way to the tip. So it really depends on how you measure it. It does have a flat grind for the blade, and then it is at N690 for the blade steel. So corrosion resistance is going to be really high at about 61 percentile compared to other steels, but then the edge retention is going to be about 32 percentile, so not horrible. It's still a good steel that's going to be able to do a lot of work for you. But then this one also has a handle length of 3.3 inches. And then going back to another relatable task or information, you have basically 5 sheets of paper behind the edge thickness for it, so you can take that out of your printer. So that's basically when it's actually cutting through something that actually doesn't flex and move the same like a piece of paper, then it'll be able to kind of cut that through that a little bit better. And then also for the ramp, also a little bit different thing for that. So normally some blades just go from basically releasing the actual lock to being on the blade. This one almost has like a 2-step process for that. So you release it, and it goes onto the blade about 14 degrees, and then it kind of has another ramp up that goes about 32 degrees. So 20% is really amazing. Basically 30% is really good. 40% above is kind of high in my opinion as far as that goes. But that's going to be those degrees of ramp. And then blade stock is about 2.9 millimeters, right hand tip up only. Do not put this in your left hand pocket. you can try, but basically the reason for a right hand tip up is for you're going to have the clip, it's going to be right against your pocket seam. If you put it in the left side, then if this opens up, that's going to be meeting your hand, and that will not be pleasant. So right hand tip up for this carry. And then thoughts as far as an extra large version, that was kind of something that came about, and I was thinking about it, so that's why I kind of cut this out. So instead of just ramping it up as far as keeping the degree the same, I kind of went with something that has kind of the same ending blade stock, just a little bit longer in the handle, and then a little bit longer for the blade. So that's going to be something that I thought was kind of my thought as far as if they did an extra large version. What do you think about it? Do you think that that's where you would want to have it sit? And then what size would you want to go with? So with the flipper tab, I mean, there's going to be kind of where that would be in my hand anyway. So we'll look at it as far as even the sizing between the other knives. So we're going to have basically the Rat 2 for that one there, and then you're going to have the Bug Out as far as a standard for a lot of people now. So there's going to be the different sizes for that, for the blade length, sizes, and all those things. So I would recommend to pick it up as far as a buy. It's a really cool knife. If you also didn't know, this does glow in the dark. This isn't going to show on video very well, but if you do load that up, it does actually glow in the dark, and it actually does glow quite bright when you actually are in the dark. But it's just one of those little things that kind of adds to the knife for Finch Knife Co. So check that out. That's about all I have to say about that one today, and thank you very much.